You are welcome to LFN What's Your Say? The #1 listening show where we discuss real issues with real people like you. We are still featuring R. Kelly. Real name Robert Sylvester Kelly. Also known as the R&B King. A few days ago we woke up to an awakening announcement by R. Kelly's attorney Jennifer Bonjean, who made us aware that Robert will not be making any more prison call interviews for the time being following her legal guidance, and that most importantly, she and Kelly are preparing to file a major lawsuit she is looking forward to share with us soon. It is so sad to see that it has had to come to this point where defendant R. Kelly needs to file a lawsuit against government and their partners in crime for him to be returned his well-deserved freedom. And it's a shame to learn that this is all a result of the tendency for government to think that they can abuse the laws of this country whenever they feel the need to, and that they should always get away with it like they have done before while prosecuting numerous cases. The case against R. Kelly was very clear right from the beginning. The argument was whether he has been with underage girls and whether he physically abused women. The case was also about how he allegedly did this with claims that he was operating a sort of cult with women held against their will in his house basement. If the government's investigation into this matter, which stemmed from the surviving R. Kelly documentary as confessed by the now outgoing district attorney of Cook County Kim Foxx, had indicated that he did any of these things, all they needed to do was charge for these particular crimes, which also carry hefty sentences that would see the government have their man locked up for as long as they may have wished. Supporters and fans of R. Kelly actually wouldn't have disagreed much with any such moves by the prosecution. They also wouldn't have cared much which enemy of R. Kelly is behind this, for the government would have followed the right channels to achieve their rather malicious objectives. But when all this was found not to be true, a situation that left the government completely disarmed and losing grip on the R&B King, the government chose to take the wrong path with the hope of cornering him with accusations that were only imported into the case, and that didn't apply to the initial allegations against him. The government had suddenly realized that many of the women they had hoped to use as accusers against him were actually bearing false witness, or were simply making allegations that were not backed up by any evidence whatsoever. Those who made claims of physical abuse simply had nothing to show for it: no scars on the body, no medical reports, no 911 call records, nothing completely. And many of the so-called underage alleged victims were also found to have been lying all along. If this wasn't the case, we wouldn't all be knowing the story of Lisa Van Allen, who almost chickened out of the Chicago trial after getting busted by R. Kelly's attorney, and exposed to have been lying she was underage all along. With the newfound evidence, it's actually getting more and more difficult to believe that the New York lead accuser and defense witness turned government conspirator was actually 17 years and 7 months old when she started out being R. Kelly's girlfriend. The new information, which shows that she carried with her a valid identity card that indicated she was 18, is supposed to either attract a fresh investigation into this matter, or to have her testimony against R. Kelly immediately vacated and defendant acquitted, and of course the case dismissed without prejudice. With all these gaps in sight, the government decided to return charges from a case that was closed 25 years ago, and one that saw R. Kelly acquitted by the same U.S. court which now seems to doubt its own work from back then. To do this, they ignored all safeguards that protect R. Kelly's rights, and the rights of every other U.S. citizen from being abused as enacted in the various amendments everyone in this country must enjoy equally. With a total disregard of the laws against double jeopardy, we saw the very same alleged victim who under oath told the court that she wasn't the woman on the tape, a statement that was backed up by her own adult parents in their right senses, return to the stand to now tell the same court that she was actually the one. Out of ideas of how to pin down R. Kelly, the government decided to charge him for his core business, and that is singing, when they turned his travels around the country doing music tours into an alleged trafficking scheme it never was, suggesting that every woman, young or old, who with their parents' consent traveled with him from state to state to attend his music concerts automatically became a victim of the Mann Act violation, a form of trafficking that involves interstate commerce. What they forgot, however, was that for this part of the statute to be invoked, there has to be proof of intent to commit crime in the destination state as the reason for travel. At proving this, the government failed miserably. The RICO charges too have become a contentious issue, considering when Judge Ann Donnelly was queried to explain why she issued a guilty verdict on this matter yet no illegal enterprise was demonstrated, She responded suggesting that the government did not need to prove an illegal enterprise for as long as R. Kelly had an organized business going for the sole purpose of promoting his music business. By writing this, the court technically conceded to the disqualification of the RICO charges that were smuggled onto R. Kelly's charge sheet. And for this, R. Kelly should be getting either a retrial or an acquittal on this particular part of the indictment. Whether such are the matters, we are likely to see attorney Jennifer Bonjean counteracting in her coming lawsuit against the government and their conspirators. She is yet to let us know, and when she does, we will be updating you in a special release on this channel LFN. It's clear, however, that the government panicked and messed up their case against R. Kelly when they asked for too much and diverted from charging him for actual crimes for a lack of evidence, and instead resorted to concocted charges that until today have no substantial evidence to back up the allegations. There is no doubt R. Kelly has an upper hand when it comes to the appeal possibilities, and filing a major lawsuit could see his freedom reinstated the hard way. According to Milkman, it would surely be interesting to research previous cases and find out how and when people have been convicted of a one-man RICO, something that cannot legally be done. This was all for money. Remember, one man cannot be an enterprise. And there are serious inconsistencies, considering there are many previously indicted persons with related cases that have been proven guilty but not subjected to the RICO charge as has been done to R. Kelly. There is definitely a malicious reason for forcing in these charges, and Bonjean suing against this kind of injustice is exactly what we have been waiting for. The court also needs to be tasked to explain how they managed to prevail over all this prejudice and unjust behavior. According to Ray Johnson, the law shouldn't break the law, all in search for a conviction. Looking at this ugly case only serves to prove the claims that there are indeed multiple citizens who are illegally locked up in U.S. prisons when they are innocent and shouldn't be there. The day the government disregarded what the U.S. law says is when they sent their entire case against R. Kelly to the dogs. And like that, they lost it, but they just won't admit to this. They are simply playing hide and seek, and it won't be long before they get busted. In the meantime, we continue to wish R. Kelly good health as he deals with this rotten system. If you wish to take part in a live interview discussing any of these topics, let us know by sending an email to sashalfnmedia@gmail.com for scheduling. Thank you for watching today's video, a production of LFN Media, giving you another perspective of issues at hand. We make it our business to keep you updated with the truth amidst the cloud of lies the media wants you to believe. It is therefore important to subscribe to this channel, hit the bell icon and allow all notifications so that you don't miss out whenever we publish a new video.